Welcome back to the channel. This is Andrew, running with Dr. Andrew. And today is another midweek training talk. All right guys, let's go. Alright guys, today with the midweek training talk, I'd like to talk to you about the muscle called the Quadratus Lumborum and how important it can be, and also how it can cause pain. It's a muscle that is attached to the 12th rib and attaches into your lumbar spine and then down into your pelvis. What it does, it helps with side bending as well as pelvic control. Now, whenever your glute muscles are weak, what happens is that muscle kind of takes over for stability while walking, running, or whatever you're doing. So that muscle is important. The glute muscles are important to help strengthen, to take pressure off of that Quadratus Lumborum. And so I'd like to show you at least 5 good exercises to help strengthen, to help with pain, and also to help stretch the area that you need to help out with your Quadratus Lumborum. Alright guys, tip number 1 to help with your Quadratus Lumborum muscle is to do a trigger point release, a self trigger point release. And so I'd like for you to do is you're going to lay on your back, and there's a couple ways you can do this. We'll definitely show a couple ways. This is the first one, and you're going to place a ball or a rolled up towel that's pretty stiff and place it on the area which is right here between your ribs and your pelvis. You're gonna place that ball there, and you're gonna place there, and you lay on your back facing up. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna gently roll your hip out and back in, out and back in. If you find it's a really sore spot, you hold it there for a little bit until that pain goes away, and then you can find another little spot there. You can do that for a little bit, a couple minutes or so throughout the day if you need to. If you do it a little too much, that can make you a little too sore there. But this should help out with your pain and also help with relieving the tension on the muscle. Sometimes when you have a trigger point, what happens is that muscle will tighten up and not be as effective. And once you release it, that muscle starts to become a little bit more effective. All right, guys, gotta finish my run. Alright, the next exercise that you can do is the same thing as a trigger point release. What you can do is use this ball and place it on your back. And this time you can raise your feet up on a ball, a big exercise ball or a chair or something like that that can help give you a little bit of support. And the same thing, you can kind of rotate your leg out and back in. Just a little bit different angle while you're rotating. It's going to help out get that trigger point on that Quadratus Lumborum. Remember, that's the muscle between your pelvis and your ribs, and it can be something that can cause a lot of pain, can cause hip pain as well as low back pain. It's a very important muscle that gets treated quite a bit in my practice of physical therapy. So this is a muscle that has flared up on me, especially if I'm doing a lot of overstriding type of movements, or not used to a different speed or something like that. It seems like I overuse that muscle a little bit there too, or if my glutes are weak. And so the next exercise that you're gonna do is do some glute strengthening. And you can use a ball to do this. You're gonna bend your knees on the ball, or you can do it on the ground. You're gonna raise your hips up and hold that for at least 3 to 5 seconds and slowly come back down. When you go up, it's gonna be a concentric contraction, meaning your muscles are shortening. And then the lengthening part is what you're gonna have your support, and that's going to be your shock absorbing type of movement. And with running, there's a lot of shock absorbing movements that we have, especially on being on the single leg support. And so that's very important for you to have that single leg support or that shock absorbing support while exercising there. And then the next one that you're going to do is simply doing a side lift, and this is definitely a very simple exercise. We've seen this before, I've showed this before. And so basically you're going to lift your leg up, hold that movement for at least 3 to 5 seconds and slowly come back down. You can also add some resistance to this exercise too to help out with your stability, or some weights. You can add some ankle weights as well. That's going to definitely help you out with your strength overall. Again, you're going to up slowly, come back down slowly, nice and easy, doing, you know, repetitions of 15 to 30 repetitions, nice and slow. And then the last exercise you're going to do is kind of a standing clamshell that you're going to do. Keep one stationary and then you're going to rotate your leg out and then come back in. That's going to help out with your stability for that quadratus lumborum to help you out with that movement. And also, next exercise that you're going to do is just a simple stretch. Stretching, you hold for at least 30 seconds to 45 seconds or so. So you're going to stretch out into a child's pose and reach over to the right to stretch the left side and hold that for at least 30 to 45 seconds to help out stretching that quadratus lumborum muscle. And you can do that 3 to 5 times, as much as you need to help out with that muscle. It's usually a stretch that does feel really good when you're doing this type of stretch there. This ends this video on getting your quadratus lumborum muscle to relax, which is very important. It's an important muscle to keep you stable. And so definitely you want those glute muscles to be a little stronger and a little bit more flexible in that muscle, so that way your running is a little bit more comfortable and that you're having less back pain while running. And I hope everyone out there keeps safe, keep running, and we'll see you next time.